Brian Scudamore, 1989, Vancouver, British Columbia. He wasn't much more than a kid in the summer between senior year and college. Brian's issue was that he needed to pay for school, and the tuition bill was looming. While contemplating all this, he found himself grabbing lunch at the McDonald's in town. While eating his food, he noticed a rusty old pickup truck going through the drive-thru. The pungent exhaust smelled of the lean-burning V8. The sides of the truck bed were clad in plywood walls with the phone number of a junk removal service lazily sprayed onto the face of it for all to see. Brian thought, I can do better than that. The next week, he opened his own business, and he called it Rubbish Boys Disposal Service, later renamed to 1-800-GOT-JUNK. During this time in North America, there was no real junk disposal service that got the job done right. Soon enough, Brian found himself with a lot of business to do and a lot of extra money in his pocket. However, even though he was successful by anyone's standards, he felt that there was still more he could do. In the summer of 1998, almost 10 years after starting his junk removal service, revenues hung around the $1 million per year mark. On a weekend fishing trip to a cabin, Brian was deep in thought about what the future of his business could be, what it should be. Suddenly, juices began to flow. Ideas began to creep into his mind, and he felt the pressure of needing to record them before he forgot. And he began scribbling down his newfound expectations, both for himself and his company. These visions were grandiose, vivid, crazy even. Brian called the paper a painted picture of what he wanted. The words on this paper made his heart beat faster. His emotions soared upon reading them. But he didn't stop there. He kept improving this painted picture until it became something so compelling, so real, so true to his purpose that he just knew it had to become reality. After returning from this weekend trip, Brian smuggled his sacred document into his place of work and then began to implement the plan. 5 years later, 1-800-GOT-JUNK reported an annual revenue of $100 million, a 1,000% increase in business revenue. This revenue figure, along with various new services, features, and branding, was all stated in Brian's painted picture that he stamped out back in 1998. When this incredible goal was reached, Brian and his colleagues continued to raise the roof. A new painted picture was created, projecting $1 billion in revenue by the year 2014. Hitting this one was a little trickier. In 2015, the company posted an annual revenue of $250 million. Still pretty good in my book. Impressively, 1-800-GOT-JUNK continues to kill it in the junk removal game in 2022 by becoming the world's largest junk removal franchise, reaching an eye-watering $300 million in revenue, and winning awards such as Best Junk Removal Service 2022 by Forbes Home. I've even personally seen the company featured in shows such as Hoarders Buried Alive as the cleanup crew. Not bad for a junk man. So this is the entrepreneurial lesson that I took away. Know what your goals are. Orient yourself to what you see in your future and make it happen. Aim really high, really high, because even if you don't hit your goal entirely, you'll find yourself with more success you would have had otherwise, pretty much no matter what. Just take it from Brian Scudamore, whose $300 million dream came true in the parking lot of a McDonald's restaurant.